Hello everyone, SeKo Starcraft here, bringing you more adventures from my Platinum League games. I've decided to put down the beer for a while, got myself a nice warm can of Flat Rockstar from yesterday. It's superb. We got Omniscient, the red Zerg up here, in the top left. In the bottom right, we've got Fat Farm, the blue Protoss. Now, I actually recasted these games. I did give a bit of a replay cast on it yesterday after I had played a whole bunch of ladder, and I was kind of bitter. So I decided I was going to sit down and chill out a little bit, take a little bit more time to have a nice, easy casting. Now, I'm going to bring up the production tab, and we'll speed it up a little bit because this is the beginning of the game, and nothing really crazy happens out at the start. And this guy's got a really early scout coming in. Mine's just going out, cross paths and high five on the way. And he looks like he's going to be walling off the front of his base, which is fine. Usually when I see this, I have to make a decision on the spot whether I'm going to go and try to break the guy down, or if I'm going to be going to try to just macro better than him. And in most cases, I generally try to macro better. I am chasing around his probe with my drone, just because if you go and sometimes wall off at the front, sometimes you're like going for a forge, and then they cannon you, and then you're sad, and you cry. He goes for a Nexus first before everything else, and I see the forge, so it would not surprise me if he tries to cannon, which is why, haha, gotcha, which is why I've taken the time to track down the probes that are going out around the map. Overlords are just getting into position, having a little bit more of a fight, a little bit, pow. So, 2 kills already, off to a great start. Units tab, fairly neck and neck on workers. Right now I've got my other hatchery just finished. His expansion's almost done as well, so economy wise he'll catch up pretty fast with the chrono boost, so not too worried. 2 queens popping out, 1 cannon at the front. This is a pretty nice little wall off, though if I did make say 8 or 10 lings, they would easily be able to get up here and do some damage. I mean, it's going to be a while before he's going to be having out units to really deal with that. He hasn't even started a zealot. And he does have a scout out here, but that wouldn't stop me from actually going in and doing a bunch of damage, which I probably could have done. But I'm deciding that I want to play fairly standard games, because the more standard I play, the more often I seem to win. The more gimmicky I tend to play, the more I tend to lose. Roach Warren going down, dropping creep tumors, because this is a great map for creep spreading. I really enjoy a lot of several games I consider just by having great creep spread down the middle of the map. Continuing at the front with a second gateway, chrono boosting out. Got a lot of extra chrono boost. Chrono boosting out his what gate? Is he using this chrono boost as well? He is not. And if we look at his hotkeys, he's only got his Nexus on hotkey. So I figured he'd be. I think he just cast. Maybe. Anyways, there's always things to spend your chrono boost on in the early games, so that's a little shocking to me. Workers tab, not that far ahead of him, but I'm only building workers. Extra queen popping out just for more creep tumors at the front. Keeping my injects up pretty good. Double gas, and he's got a robo facility just finishing up right now, and +1 on the way, so he's got a pretty good little bit of tech. He'll have a tech advantage here pretty soon. And not building any more probes. See, that's something at the early game. If you're going to go for this fast nexus, you might as well be chrono boosting the heck out of your workers and get that macro advantage. That's what I did. I went for the expansion. If I don't have to build attacking units, I'm not going to build attacking units. I am going to get supply block though, because that's always fun. But I'm just going to keep building workers. I mean, why would I not do that if I don't feel like I'm going to be under pressure? So I'm going to tech up to lair. I'm not even getting speed right now. Positioning my overlord at the north. I probably should be sending some around the map. That's something I need to work on. It's good overlord positioning. Not some place where they're going to get sniped, obviously, by a lot of stalkers. But in a place that's going to let me know what's coming at me better. I'm building my first bunch of roaches because I feel like I might be able to go for a good attack before his tech really kicks in. And happily, he hasn't really. Like, if we go to the units tab, he's down a fair bit on his workers right now because of the time he spent not building workers. Did he put out an observer? Yes, he's got one observer out, so he sees what's going on. I am just going to produce a whole bunch of roaches because I want to go put some pressure on here pretty quick. So I got lots. First Evo chamber just finished, so I should hopefully be starting some upgrades soon. Money's still a little bit high. It's coming up at the 8-minute mark there. I should be putting down a macro hatch and at least getting my third base. I'm sending out a worker right now to take my third base, breaking down the rocks, lots of roaches, so that's good. Creeps getting out a good distance to help me defend. And if we look at him right now, units tab, he only has one immortal and one zealot. So if I was to take all of these roaches and go and attack right now, very good chance I would just beat him. I would just destroy him at this point. But I'm working on getting even more roaches out for overwhelming numbers because I kind of want to make one attack and then just win with it. He's caught up in workers now, which is great. I've got my +1 and my speed happening. Speed should be kicking in here pretty soon. This base is started and on its way. And we're going to go for our attack now. He's going to be moving into Colossus right away. And he's not chrono boosting any of it. What are you going to do? Got some sentries out here for protection, and that's very fortunate for him, because that's the only thing that's really going to stop this mess of roaches from just destroying face here. So I'm at the front, and we'll see what kind of damage we can do. Excuse me. He has great timing with that Colossus. He managed to kill, I think, 2 roaches. I probably could have come back in for another attack now that he used up most of his energy. But I'm not going to worry about it. I'm at home, going to get a Hydralisk den. Just because I love the Hydra Roach combination. Though I don't know if I actually make too many, because if he's got Colossus out, Hydralisks just get destroyed really fast. So I'm making myself a macro hatch. Buy a big swell of drones. Oh, I've got a big buffer of supply, which is nice. +1's about to finish, and I put down my Spire. So that way I can go after Colossus. If you're playing in a lower league and you're playing against somebody who's making Colossus, they're just going to make a lot of Colossus. That is really what they do. Gonna send around my roaches just to clear out the watchtowers. Get that guy down. And he's got a pretty good sized army. He sees the size of that army, so I guess that's why he's hesitating a little bit more. Going to wait for the rest of his gateways to kick in and his Colossus. That's going to buy me time, hopefully, to get my Spire up. +1's about to finish. Macro hatch about to finish. Good bit of drones there. If we go to the units tab, I am now slightly ahead in workers again and continuing to push more. He's stopped building any more workers. I think he's saturated well enough, so I'm okay with, you know, stopping at that point. I think if he was going to go for a third, that'd have been a wise move. He's got enough army to defend with the sentries. So he's got his last Colossus. Now he's going to move out. There aren't any pylons anywhere ahead in the map, though. So he's not going to be able to reinforce very well. I see this huge army with my roaches. I see the warp in. And I don't really want to go head on with this yet. I want to get my corruptors out. Building 6 right now. So I made a decision which I actually think was probably a bad decision. If he had a sentry here, I'd be in a lot of trouble. Happily he does not. So I'm just going to walk into his base. I see him coming home. So now I'm going to go for as much damage as I can. Split up my roaches. Run these guys into the mineral line. We'll pull up the unit stab, see what kind of damage we get done. He started with 47 probes. Almost got back Colossus. See how much damage we can get done on it. He moves it away too soon. I've run these guys into the probe line as well. Let's see what kind of damage. He's down to 17 workers. So I killed a lot of stuff. These roaches I had neglected for a while, and I come back and see that I actually still have some army left in here. So I'm going to get done the damage I can. Take out some pylons. I don't know how relevant it really is for me to take out pylons. I like this queuing up of as many probes as he can now that I killed all that stuff. Behind this, I've actually got another pretty good army started up. So that's alright. Probably could get a few more drones and start building some spine crawlers. But at this point I just kind of want to get a great advantage, because I know he's just going to push out here soon. So back to the production tab. My +1 armor is going to get finished pretty fast. His units are just with 1 attack. More corruptors, more roaches. I'm making Zergling speed in case we trade very evenly. I want to use Lings to be able to either reinforce or to go for a counterattack. He's still building probes behind this, trying to see what'll happen. His economy is just destroyed though. He's got no ability to reinforce what he's doing. This attack has to work. Now he's taking out all the creep, and I want to engage him before he runs away from the creep, or before the creep dissipates. So here's my army running in. Really good force fields, so I'm going to run my roaches away and let my corruptors take out all of the colossus first. I'm going to lose these corruptors, but it's really not that big of a deal to me. Force fields go away, army goes back in. Corruptor's going to go after that colossus. He does not have enough energy now to be able to actually defend against this. Roach speed on creep. It's going to give me a good chance to kill a lot of stuff. Another big bunch of roaches behind this, so my supply is up to 173 to his 49. He's still building probes, which is fine. I think it's good. This roach is getting a little ahead of themselves here. And I should be rallying all my roaches to the front. Yep, only a few roaches back there. The rest are getting rallied to the front. And now I'm just going to go in for the kill. He's rebuilt a lot of his economy, so I'm going to go do what damage I can. He didn't have the economy at the time to actually be able to save himself. So, we'll come in here and just clean things up, and he leaves the game. So that game really came down to a really risky decision that I made to run in my roaches as a counterattack. If he had some sentries left at home, or a nice zealot warp in, he would have bought himself enough time to maybe come back. But because he didn't, I killed off so much economy that even though I lost 30 roaches, I was able to macro them back. He wasn't able to macro out an army. So, good ZVP. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm enjoying my energy beverage, and we'll see you guys next time.